Welcome to the Streets of My Canvas. Today in the studio we got my man Aerias from Chicago. Got a few questions for him today. Really dope musician, friend of mine. I've known him for a while now, so yeah, let's go.
Cool.
How did you get started?
Battling. I was a battle rapper. I started listening to like Rakim and KRS-One when I was like really young, and I was like, man, I want to do that. And what really set it off was the movie Juice, because it had all the elements. You know, there was like tagging, they were bombing, there was DJ battles, there was rapping and everything. But it was Juice that kicked it off. Local neighborhood too had a lot of rappers.
So like prior to that though, were you into music?
Yeah. My dad was in a salsa band. He played percussion. And he'd always sneak me into the clubs because that's how he had to babysit me. So like,
you had music coming through your family for a long time.
Yeah. My mom's family like has a lot of musicians too. They're more singers, but I mean, basically it's pretty much it. I mean, it's surrounded by music. And the neighborhood I lived in was northwest side of Chicago. There was always like a lot of, it was a boombox environment, like kind of like by Reese Park. You'd play over there, and then people would just set down the boombox and just be blasting like, you know, Rakim or anything like that. And then, you know, you're a little kid, you're kind of product of your environment type thing. Okay. But I mean, it worked out. I mean,
you're from Chicago, or at least the suburbs?
Yeah, northwest side of Chicago, near Brickyard, that area. I was born and raised there. Okay. So yeah, it worked out.
And then, how old were you when you got into music?
When I first started rapping, I was like 9, and it was really bad. I saw the Kid and Play movie, House Party, the first one. And we tried like imitating the dances, and we tried rapping. We're like, yo, we need to do that. Because 9-year-olds, you know, you're trying to impress your friends. And I didn't impress them, but I tried. But yeah, I mean, it was dope. Like, a lot of influence. It was always there too, man. Like, it was like, because at that time, if I remember correctly, those rap songs were also on the radio. Like, you could turn on the radio and hear like, oh, that's Lord's Underground. Oh, dope. True. But now it's like, no.
So how many years have you been rapping?
Okay, seriously, like not like I'm 9 years old, I'm trying to rap. I took it seriously when I was 17, because I went to high school, and the battle scene was big at the time. Like, everyone was battling in the lunchroom, and I didn't know anybody. I moved out to the burbs, and there's like the urban table, and I sat there by myself, and I heard some guys rapping, and I jumped in the cypher, and I was kind of like the best one in the cypher. So they're like, where'd this dude come from? Like, who's this guy, you know? Nice. And it kind of stuck, you know, like, I mean, after that, they egg you on to keep doing it. And it just continued from there, and I started taking it seriously. And then I just started joining battles for money. I joined Chicago Tribe when I was 14, and they encouraged me to battle all the time. And I was one of the few MCs in there. There's me, this guy Reggie, Rhymefest was in it, and a couple other guys. I don't know where they went, but everyone, I'm the last MC in Tribe now.
And now, you don't only just rap, right?
No.
What else?
I play guitar as well. I have a full band. They're called the Clyde Project. They join me in all my endeavors. What up, guys? I play guitar. I play electric guitar, like rock, blues, and I play flamenco guitar, Spanish guitar, whatever you want to call it. I also compose my own songs, and occasionally, if need be, I sing. But I'm not like, no Anthony Hamilton or anything, you know?
So, do you think that's what makes you different as a rapper, that you do those things?
Yes. I also graduated from Second City. I was a stand-up comedian for a while, and a sketch comedian. I traveled and opened for a lot of people from Mad TV. I opened for Bone Hampton, who went on tour with Cat Williams. I opened for a lot of people from the George Lopez show. So, I mean, I met a lot of, like, I've done a lot of things to try. I did all those things to make the rap experience better. Because I feel like lacking these days, the live show, I think people are forgetting about the live show.
Of course.
I mean, you're an entertainer. I mean, I don't really want to describe myself as just like a rapper. I want to be like an entertainer. Because I feel if you can do more than one thing, you're not just one thing anymore. I mean, you're a painter, DJ, entrepreneur, producer. It's like, I would look at that as you've surpassed the realm of being one thing. Right. Like for me, it's like, I wanted to surpass the realm of rap to like kind of be better at it. So by touching on all those different things, I think I made my personal live show worth going out and seeing and even paying for.
So maybe you should change your name to Aerias then.
I was just thinking that, you know, someone told me
like
that.
I don't call myself a DJ.
Right.
If you look on flyers, unless the promoter messes up.
Right. Yeah.
It's normally just my name.
Right. Yeah.
So, next question. What do you think of the industry that you're involved in? It's challenging. It's definitely not for the weak of heart. I used to think
it was fun, but when the business, it has to be a balance of business and fun. You know, people say you can't mix business with pleasure. I'm a firm believer that you have to find a way, because if you're too business, you start to hate it.
Right.
And if you're too much pleasure, you never get anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a balance of, to answer the question directly, it's difficult. It's not impossible, it's not easy. I think it's a gravel pit. I think it's where you find out whether or not it's for you.
True.
You know, whether or not you stay an artist, or you become an entrepreneur, or you just stay in the business side and you never make it as an artist.
Do you think the scene that you're involved in is oversaturated?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's oversaturated and underanalyzed. I think that more people look at the big picture as opposed to the individual elements of the machine. I think they look at the car and not the gears. I think if more people like broke it up into sections, I think that the cake would be easier to eat if they broke it up into slices. You know, but I definitely think it's oversaturated, and there's a whole interview, a whole nother interview of factors that we could talk about.
Why do you think certain artists make it and other artists don't? Like, why do you think one artist will get on, but then another guy who has done so much other stuff hasn't got on?
I think opportunity and leverage and drive. I like to believe that everybody has drive, but somebody knows somebody. For example, somebody might have a great sponsor that totally believes in them and invests all this money, and that person blows up, quote unquote, overnight. Or you can have the guy that nobody believes in him, nobody sponsors the guy or girl, and they stay at home and they work on their craft like sickeningly, like it's almost disgusting. And before you know it, the right person hears them and they're like, you deserve a deal. Or you have that person who's just messing around with their friends and they're having a good time, they never expected something to hit, and they get a hit and they're on every radio station, they're like, whoa, that was the best accident we ever had. So I think it's a crapshoot when it comes to that. It really depends. It depends on where you're from, what your status is, and what your vices are almost. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I mean,
I feel you.
Yeah.
What do you think to you is like making quality music more important than getting on, or you want a balance of both? Like what's the most important thing to you? Like why do you really want to make music?
I think two things. For me, I mean, I'm not speaking for other artists, but for me, why I want to make it in music is powerful. I think people need, if you give a person power, empowerment, not just power like, hey, go do this and run amok. Music has a power. People, it's a light for people. Like if they're sad, there's a song for it. If they're happy, there's a song for it. If they're confused, there's a song for it. If I can be the voice of reason for people, if I can help people find themselves through a sonic experience, I feel I've done my celestial universal job here as a human being, or something even more transient than that. I think that striving to do that, taking your pain and including everybody in the experience, is what makes the quintessential form of art for me. That's what's gonna bring people together. I mean, unity through experience, not just like, yo, not just let's party, or not just let's all think about stuff, or not just let's dwell and be sad. Let's just all share the collective human experience. Like if you're sad, hey, I've been sad too. If you're happy, hey, I've been happy too. Let's celebrate. Like, yo, you like music, I like music, let's do this. You know what I mean? I think it's my job, not even my job, I think it's my responsibility as an artist at one point or another to take what I've learned and teach it to others through the best way possible.
Most definitely. So for future generations, you know, a lot of kids, especially nowadays and in the next couple of decades, they're gonna really be missing out on a lot of stuff that maybe you or I, or even people before us have had to do. For example, nowadays DJs, like if you buy a laptop, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like dig for records. You don't know how to actually learn how to DJ. Like what's something that you think the future generation kids are going to be missing out on? Like what are they not going to get that we've got, growing up in the industry that we grew up in?
I think the roots of the whatever craft they choose. Like I think I would hope not, but I think that future generations, like now, when you mentioned DJs, when people think DJ, they don't think they don't think records and crates anymore. They think Serato and laptop and CDJs. They don't research the craft. What I would hope is that in the future, whatever craft somebody chooses, let's say our kids are like, oh, Daddy, you were a DJ. That means Serato and CDJs, right? You're like, nah, boy, come here, sit down, let me talk to you. Right. I would hope that people are like, look, this is where the rap form came from. It came from this, and then there's battle rapping, and then there's this kind of rapping. Choose, give them a choice, you know? I think if you really want somebody, if somebody really sees a child and they say, and the kid says, I want to break dance, and they're like, okay, I would hope that that person in the future says like, okay, well, let me show you about breakdancing and show them some old school videos.
Yeah, or even yourself, right? Because like we grew up, you know, in the 90s. Like we didn't grow up in the 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Breakdancing wasn't like the same thing, right?
Right.
So like in high school, like if it was just kind of like a fad, then it was just kind of like you didn't really know.
Right.
But if you cared about it, then you researched.
Did the research, yeah.
You found out about, you know, what hip hop was really, and what, you know, all the roots were.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it depends on the drive of the person too. I mean, if the person has a drive, then yeah, I mean, I personally would be like, all right, yeah, you know, let's move forward. Like, let me show you what I know. Right. And if it's a craft that I'm particularly good at, then I'd be like, well, okay, then I'll teach you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if some little kid came up to you and you know you've lived out your years and you're like kind of chilling and you become like the guru and at the top of the mountain, the little kid comes visit you like, Marcus Shadden, teach me the ways. Right. Then you're like, all right, you take your apprentice, you teach them everything you know, they find themselves, you know?
True.
I think that whole like...
I guess the real question is like, do you think technology takes away or enhances the beauty of art?
I think it does both. I think if the intentions are immediate, it takes away. I think if the intentions are long-term, it enhances. Because I mean, like people nowadays are like, yo, I'm gonna be a DJ for a month. I'm gonna buy Serato, I'm gonna get a Mac, and I'm good. And then after that month, they're done. Right. But I think if someone nurtures himself, like I'm gonna be a DJ, let me start with techniques first, and let me see what I can do. Then they move up to Serato, and then they're like, now I understand where the game changed. Right. Then I think it's beneficial. But it really, again, it depends on the intention. You know, if it's holistic or if it's just I'm gonna do it just to do it. It's like, all right.
If you have any advice for, you know, young artists, creatives, you know what I'm saying, out there, what would it be?
Stay driven, stay hungry. Anything that's negative, do your very best to turn it into a positive. Because if you chase this life, if you chase the art, the media, the aesthetic, the altruistic life, it's not gonna be easy. So definitely work on who you are. Be true, be honest, like make yourself and be around people that want to help you make you, because that's the best thing you can do. The money will come after. The money will come later. If you're passionate, the money will follow you. Just be grounded, just be so driven. Just don't let anything break you down, because there's gonna be so many challenges and oh my, it's gonna be so hard.
And last thing, one word to describe yourself.
Me.
Good answer.
Right?
All right, y'all. This is Marcus Shadden with The Streets Are My Canvas. Until next time.
Thank you, Marcus. Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. Later, y'all.